Do you remember it, or did you remember it until last night, or was it something you've forgotten about?
Nah, definitely hadn't forgotten about it, but just looking at the photos sort of jigged the memory a little and brought back a lot of happy memories.
And Ash, what do you remember most about the celebrations?
Not too much, unfortunately, not too much. No, but we had a good time. I think we stayed up here for the first night, and then we're down at the Cardi for the second day, and up the main street the third day, so I think so. It was good.
Get your GameFace on.
Massive day for the Berwick Footy Club today. It's a reunion for their premiership back in 1999. Always a massive day on the field for Berwick, who are on top of the table in the Premier Division of the Outer East competition. One of their star players, he's had an outstanding year. He's been an out team of the week for GameFace regularly. On the wing, Lewis Jellyman-Turner. Louis, good to have you with us. And what do you know about the 1999 Premiership team? A good mate of mine, Tony Blackfoot, was coach. He'll tell you he's the greatest coach of all time.
I know that our coach played it and loves to talk about it and loves to talk himself through it. Not a lot else other than that, but I know it was our first Premiership before we won the first one. The other one I was involved in 2015. That was obviously dated back to then, so that's about all I know.
Cliff was heavily involved as the club president. He coached the under-18s that went on to win the flag that day as well. So, Cliff, you've made a major contribution to this football club. How proud are you that you just keep staying involved and have been involved for so long?
It's just like a cancer. It just gets you and you don't want to leave. And when we got onto Blackers and he brought a couple of blokes from Frankston Bombers, he's one of the best coaches we've had here because everything he asked you to do, he did it. He wasn't one of them coaches that stood out in the middle and just said, do this, do that. And he had all the blokes supporting him 100%. You couldn't have got a better coach.
Blankers, congratulations. What's it like being back? It's been 20 years since you won that flag. Does it feel like yesterday, though?
Yeah, it does. I mean, time goes so quick, Dan. And last night, instead of being at my house, we came here on Friday night.
So it could be a later night then, couldn't it, Blackers?
Yeah, it was a little bit late. Didn't get home until 12, Dan.
Wow.
12 o'clock.
Gee, Blackers is a trip the light fantastic, ladies and gentlemen.
12:05 I hit the sack, and we had 17 out of the 21 boys here last night, and to a lot of us, we hadn't sat and watched that game either as individuals or as a group ever before. And like I talked about when the 2009 flag was earlier in the year, we sat there, we bagged the blokes who made mistakes. We cheered ourselves when we kicked a goal. And probably at the 15-16 minute mark of the third quarter, Dan, we were 21 points down. And we didn't realise how dominant Crib Point were as a team. And we had to beat Crib Point for the fourth time that year on the biggest day of the year.
Now, Matt, true or false? You took the premiership pen at home with you last night, and it ended up in your bed this morning. Is that right?
No, that is incorrect. No, Tony Blackford, I think, was hoping that I'd take it home and drape it around my wife, but no, it didn't happen that way. But anyway, that was Tony's fantasy, but yeah, it wasn't mine, obviously.
And tell me about your role in the 99 grand final. You played up forward, got a lot of the footy?
Played up forward, kicked a couple, probably assisted 5 or 6 at least last night watching the replay, but no, probably not that good.
Good to have you with us. Were you able to have a drink afterwards?
Yeah, it was. Was certainly old enough to be able to do that. So there's plenty of boys in the team that were able to show me the ropes and show me what that was all about. So, yeah, that started shortly after the game and went on to about Tuesday.
So they led you astray, is that right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, certainly showed me. Showed me the ropes. That's for sure.
What was it like playing in a premiership team at such a young age?
Yeah, it was probably at the time you don't realise. You just sort of take it for what it is. I'd had a lot of success in junior teams as well, so it was just sort of par for the course. But to do it in senior level was amazing, and the club hadn't won a flag for 20 or 30 years at that point in time as well. So to be able to do that was great. Having also played a lot of senior footy and had a lot of time without success, you certainly learn what the value of those are when you do achieve them.
As a coach and a playing coach, how important is it that you just concentrate on your game, but then you've also got to look at what's happening out on the field? Or to have someone like Daryl Nesbitt, who'd coached the club to their last flags, and a legend of the club, a legend of local footy.
Football,
I mean, did that help you and ensure that you could just do your job more often than not while the game was on?
Yeah, I think so. Like, Daryl was fantastic, and just some of the moves that he was able to make without coming through me. I mean, yes, we would discuss it at half-time and quarter-time, but my main focus was trying to get a kick steal, Dan, and to be able to have the luxury of that along the way was terrific. And Daryl taught me a lot of things that I took to the next venture. And then at the next venture, I had guys like Cat Colling and then Don Scott and Merv Harbiston at Sorrento. So I've been very fortunate while I was still playing to have great influences behind the scenes.
What do you remember most, Matt? I mean, more the celebrations or more the game?
A bit of both, really. No, we had some great celebrations. I think the reunions now, that's probably the best part of it. Don't remember a lot of the game day until we watch the replay, but now, like 20 years on, and we get the whole team here. I think that's the greatest part of it. It's
a trailblazing win when you have won a flag for over 20 years, isn't it? I mean, that was very important to the club. Speaking to Cliff Donegan, who was president at the time, coach of the under-18s and went through undefeated and won the flag, he said we'd had no success. It had been tough for the club and there's a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah, and we went through a lot of years there where, if we won the toss, we used to run a lap of honour because it was there were a lot of losses, and it was a good crew of blokes growing up together, and we finally got there. We got that final achievement which we were after.
Do you think you were in trouble when you were down in that third quarter?
On the day, I always felt pretty confident, but sort of watching it again, you didn't realise how close it was.
And Clint, what do you remember about being behind and then sort of hitting the front and being a young guy and thinking, gee, this is going to happen now?
Yeah, I certainly remember going into the game, we were probably warm favourites going in, and it started well. It was a warm day and felt the game sort of getting away from us at a couple of times during the second and third quarter. So, because we didn't really finish the game off until the last couple of minutes, I probably never really felt like at any stage we were over the line. It was really just hanging in there, and a couple of special bits of play, a long goal from Tippo, which you certainly told us all about repeatedly last night. Certainly got.
How far was it again?
Well, it was in the square. I didn't think it was, but it was clearly in the centre square. So however far that was, they must have had small 50s there at Somerville.
Did you think, having won one, as a lot of players, I suppose, subconsciously think that we'll just win one every year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like at the time, we probably as a group thought we were going to win multiple flags, and that actually ended up being the last game I played at Berwick, as much as a lot of other players as well. So that was a great year. But we only won the one. Yet we were probably walking away from that game thinking we're going to play in finals for many years to come.
Yeah, Lucky and I had a good relationship, and coming over was good for a change. I was at Frankston, all my juniors, and it was good to come out and meet some other people and play some footy over here.
How different was this club compared to Frankston Bombers, or were most footy clubs pretty similar?
They had their similarities, but there were little differences, I suppose. It was good to come out. It was I suppose, a young group and be part of that. Do you forget how special it is until you catch up?
Look, it's all the achievements that I've played a bit of golf and at a good level and stuff like that. But the one thing, I open up my sock drawer every day, and there's only a couple of things I've got in there. And one of them is my premiership medallion. It's a little bit of tin and whatever, but it's something that means a lot to me. And it's 20 years on. It was a good achievement.